right, good evening, folks. Yeah. See if we can knock this Chieftain out. The Irish Chieftain. And I do want to test to make sure I can do something. Let's see. Okay. It says reconnecting. I don't know, did I get lost there? Just wanted to see if I can switch back and forth from my phone. I may not be able to do that. I might have to bring the computer in. But I found a picture of an Irish chieftain that I want to try to work with and see if that works out. So, first thing we're going to do is I'm going to do something I don't like to do, and that's to paint him on a white horse. I don't like doing that always. And well, let's take a look at our other horses. We've got, the other guy's going to be running with him is that red chestnut type color. And the other horses that are in the army are, let's see, we got a gray one, we got a medium brown, and a dark brown. A white one would be okay. I was originally going to do a piebald one, but then I thought about it. He's going to have some colors that are kind of weird on him, and I don't want it to look like he's riding a Holstein, so a Holstein. So I don't think I'm going to do that. Yeah. Okay, so first things first, let's go ahead and clean up. There's areas that have black. They were supposed to have black that didn't get back in them, so let's take care of that. Let's get our trusty brushes that we can count on here. And this one. And put them handy. All right. Get these guys knocked out and be one step closer to starting on the next army. Whatever the hell that might be. So, let's get this out of the way. Okay. All right, let's grab, we don't have to get crazy detailed. If you guys watched the feed last night, I was like 2.5 hours in, and all of a sudden, bam, I got disconnected. And it wasn't my phone running out of power. I'm the only person that films with a phone, and when I'm done filming, I've got more power than when I started because it's plugged in all the time. So I'm not sure what caused it, but oh well. The mysteries of the internet. So we've got some spots back in here that we want to just make sure we cover them. I could just use craft paint. It doesn't need to be really fancy paint or anything like that. Now, right. I almost feel like I should do a black horse more than a white one. We'll do a white one and see. If we don't like it, we'll repaint them. It's that simple. We're not going to use white. We're going to use silver gray. So let's put some of this silver gray down and see if this is obstinate or not. Okay. Well, it's nearly the end, almost a weekend. You know what that means? We'll be able to do another marathon painting, hopefully. Okay. We decided this guy was going to have hose on him. This guy was going to be a hoser. Not dark enough. Need to go darker than that. There we go. Now we'll cover everything with this. We're just going to cover everything in this color right here, other than the main. And we'll highlight up from that. This guy's got a javelin. I guess that's his scabbard that's there. These figures actually don't look very good unpainted. You look at them and you're like, what's this? What's this detail? Where's it start? Where's it end? But when they're finished painting, they paint up really nice. I'm really happy with how this guy turned out. And he's not even sealed yet. They get taken to a different level when they're sealed, so I don't know what it is. So this army's already playable the way it is. I actually have 13 elements. So I've got enough for a DBA army. This is getting too... I think that brush just got retired to the realm of the working on terrain, the basing area. Okay. This is always the process that takes the longest, is getting the initial color in there and make sure you didn't miss a spot. And it's also the most boring because, you know, anybody could do this. I didn't think I was going to have any coffee tonight, but I think I'm going to have to. I'm going to be right back. I'm fading fast till we get some more interaction here. Be right back in a jiff. Okay. Where were we? Ah, yes, the white horse. Okay. We're done with that. Let's get this in the bloodstream going. It's my favorite drug of all, caffeine. All right. Well, it's Thursday, so it means it's ladies' night. So we're not going to have the usual group of ladies that normally come storm in here, and this place goes out of control. This guy's got a cape. That's what makes him the head dude. There's an illustration I saw with this guy with a cape, and his cape is no color other than pink. So we're going to be doing that. We're going to see how it turns out. We'll do the cape last, so we can see how everything else works out in there. But we'll give it a shot. If I don't like it, I'll repaint it. All right. Yeah, so there's not going to be any green on this guy. This is an Irish chieftain with no green. So I think I've pretty much decided the flag I'm actually going to use from here is this little green one. Okay, because it's not very dark age looking. It has a cross, so I knew I wanted to have a cross on it, and it's green. And there's not a whole lot of green in the army, so that'll help bring in some green to it. So it'll be this guy right here. So. Of course, we'll do that after all the figures are done in the dog, too. I think I was up all night or something like that, as much as I'm yawning. I did go to bed later last night than I normally do, after 11. So that's pretty late for me, considering I'm up at 5. So, but that's still better than Monday night. I didn't get to bed Monday night until after 1. So I got about 3.5 hours of sleep that night. Sleeping's for wussies. I got too much stuff to do to sleep. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm not going to make this horse super white because I get tired of the whole the irony of the general's always on a white horse. Well, not necessarily. Alexander the Great didn't have a white horse. It was black with a white star on the forehead. So not necessarily. Again, it's one of those things. You should paint every army red because red was available everywhere as a tint. Well, you can't have every army going around looking like they're red because it doesn't look right. Even if it's historically accurate, it's not going to it's going to look wrong. So gotta look for that balance of what things look right and what things are. So I just remember tomorrow is Friday. That means there'll be a new episode of The Boys. But I think it's on launches on Pacific time, so I won't be able to watch it before work. I think that's right. I think I gotta wait until maybe it'll be available at lunchtime and start watching that. One of the few programs I watch. I did do some watching at lunchtime today on. I know I've mentioned it before. These guys that have a YouTube channel called Kings and Generals. They do really good um, documentaries. Um, they're all done with maps and stuff. So maps, and they focus on the battlefields and stuff. So if you have an interest in DVA type stuff, it's right down your alley. So I was watching some stuff on the Turks today in regards to that. I'm not sure what the real name for it is. To call it a documentary would be inaccurate. It's all computer done, so there's never a scene where they're talking to a historian and he's sitting down and he's just kind of articulating stuff. It's always almost like counters moving on a map and stuff. So they do a really good job with the videos they do. So imagine there's a fair amount of editing in them. Okay, let's add a little bit more of this color. I don't know what I have. I better get rid of this. I've got another thing going on. I love how I got a notification that I'm on YouTube. Well, no shit, I'm on YouTube. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Well, that's all the coffee I'm going to drink tonight, so hopefully that does the job. Although I'm getting to the point where becoming more immune to caffeine. Can't you tell? Maybe I won't get disconnected tonight. I won't talk about it, Citadel Paints or something like that. They sure the Citadel folks heard and shut down my channel. I don't know. They called Citadel again. I forget. They were Citadel, and then everything was Citadel, and then they went to Games Workshop, and I've just I've never been able to call them Games Workshop. To me, it's Citadel. This stuff right here. Good Lord. I need to do some stand up or something to wake up here. All right, I think we need to go to a smaller brush than this one. Okay, let's clean this up some. Okay, and let's do his face here. Okay. That's looking better. All right, what the hell is it going to take to wake up? I feel like I got hit with a tranquilizer dart. All right, I got to shift some clothes in the laundry. Maybe that'll wake me up. I'll be right back in about 4 minutes or so. Okay. I'm back. I'm back. And more people showed up. Yes! Please wake me up. Whew! I am falling asleep. And that's ridiculous. I got stuff I gotta do. So, anyhow. Where did we leave off? We left off with this brush here. And, yeah. Yeah, I had to go take care of some laundry thing. I didn't want it to pile up over the weekend. I do the laundry anyways. The girls are out of town. My daughter's swimming at the next city over, so. Anyhow. Got it. All right, let's move this guy out of the way. He's kind of in business here. So we've got this guy to paint, and then we got a little dog to paint, and then this command stand is done. And then we can play this army with or without Scots. And then I got to make a decision. Am I going to stick with my original plan and paint the auxilia, which I don't really need, although I could use them in the Anglo-Irish army. And am I going to paint the allies for these guys, which is 3 stands of blade, or should I just go on and move on to the next army? Well, by the time I'm done with these guys, I'll probably have that decided. And I'm pretty sure I'm not going to roll back into finishing the Russians next. So, I'm pretty sure I know what army I'm going to do next. I'm 95% sure. Maybe even more than that. So, it doesn't involve buying any figures. So, that's good. Maybe a commander, maybe not even the commander. But they're going to have a lot of flags that I'm going to make myself, so that's kind of the excitement factor for me to do that. So, although I did say which armies were on my short list, and every single one of them was a Book 4 army, so that's really no surprise. That's my favorite book. They have the most shields. They have the most flags. Yeah. Before you go. Wake me up before you go, right? Of course. I do the jitterbug. Yeah. Yes, indeed. So actually, I ordered something today. Let me spill some beans. Maybe if that means just waking me up. I ordered something today that is going to make the future filming videos, including the next one we're filming, if it arrives here on time, significantly better. So that's going to be the next step. And no, it's not a microphone. I've pretty much given up on doing that. After I bought a microphone and now I have a phone that, on my phone they don't make them anymore with headphone jacks. You got to get an adapter for them, but the adapter doesn't seem to work. It messes up the frequency of the microphone. I've pretty much given up on getting a microphone. I'm not buy another microphone that's wireless. And it didn't seem like it made much of a difference. Now, if I was like filming stuff outside, like, doing one of those videos where I've got a what's it called? A gimbal. That's the one. A gimbal. And I'm saying, okay, well, here's my garden, and this is where I'm growing my tomatoes and that kind of stuff. Yeah, okay, sure, but to be in an enclosed room, it doesn't really make a difference at all. So, especially if you talk loud enough, because that's really all it does is it just enhances it. But it should make a difference on the next video that we make. So, and if not, I'll return this son of a bitch. It's on Amazon. I've ordered a lot of things on Amazon. I don't know if I had to return a single one. I'm just really careful before I purchase something. Because it's a pain in the ass to return things, but you know. I don't mind ordering things from Amazon. They get here usually earlier than they tell you how to get when they're going to arrive, which is better than everybody else. Everybody else lately has said, oh, it'll be priority shipping and it takes, 2-day priority shipping and it takes 4 days. And last thing I ordered from Amazon said it was going to get here on a Friday and arrived on a Thursday. So, that's what we like to see. So, and it's just easier, just go ahead and order it from them than go to 3 stores and realize none of them have it. So, because that seems like what the MO is now. Nobody has things restocking and that sort of thing. I remember I ended up going to Best Buy a couple of years ago and wanted to get lapel mics for our videos. Back when we were running lapel mics, I ended up buying a cheap pair on Amazon. But I went to Best Buy. I figured, oh, let's see what they have. They had one lapel mic that was like $45, and it was their generic brand, their Insignia brand. And it was like, okay, so this is a piece of shit mic. It's one of them for $45, and I can get 2 from Amazon for I think 12 or something like that. Which was kind of a moot point because, they didn't really improve the sound quality that much. Maybe if you're like a whisperer or you don't enunciate or something like that, it would make a difference. But, anyhow, that was the first, probably the first dozen or so videos that we were doing that. Now it's like, screw that. We're not doing we don't need to do the lapel mics. So. I know anything you order from Amazon here, you get it in moments if they have it in the distribution center in Jacksonville. It's just, you order it the same day it gets mailed into town. You basically get it next day. Okay, we need to go a little bit. We have gone here. Actually, the only issue I've ever had with Amazon was I wanted to save some money and order some razors. I think I used Gillette Fusions or something like that. And they're expensive. I mean, if you buy a pack of 4, there could be at least a couple bucks for each one. That's expensive. I mean, I don't go through them a lot, but I figured, oh well, I could buy them in bulk or whatever. And I ordered them, and I got a knockoff brand of them. They looked almost exactly the same, but they didn't have the packaging. They had some different packaging. But when you use them for the first time, it felt like you're using a razor that's super old. They pull on every freaking hair on your face and everything. So I learned my lesson on that one. There was some knockoff type thing. So, but they were a nice. They could have fooled them. They looked just like the real thing, except that when you went to go shave, they felt used. So, other than that, I've had no issues with anything I've ordered from Amazon. They bring it right to your door. They deliver on Sundays. You know, listen up, USPS. Pretty much keeps me from going to stores during this time. I need something, I'll just Amazon it. Four people, welcome. Welcome, welcome. We are painting an Irish chieftain. This is the final mounted guy for the army. Well, so here's the deal with this army. They can have a cav unit that's supposed to be Anglo-Irish. I got some paint on my thing here. I guess we'll have to take that off with my magic eraser. They can have a cav stand that takes the place of one of the light horse, but technically they're not supposed to be able to use that if the Scots are being used. Like if you look into DBMM rules, you can't use one instead of the other. A DBA allows you to do it, but you're not able to do that. So technically, I could have a cav stand instead of one of the light horse. I'm probably not going to run the cav unless I'm using the Irish commander and no pikeman with the Scots, just to kind of it's like almost like I know I'm not supposed to use them together like that. Once I know, then it's like I'd rather not do that sort of thing. But yeah, we could paint them up. I got some guys I think I can fudge and use them as Anglo-Irish cavalry. So I know this weekend I'm probably going to start working on the camp, because this army is basically playable. Well, it's playable right now with what I have. This is just the other alternate commander to make them all Irish. So we've got the Scots general and the pikeman, but this would be the Irish commander. So it's a light horse commander, and there's two other light horse in the army. So I got a couple guys that can back him up and get really nasty. So he starts as a 3/3 now because he is the commander, and he can be backed up by another light horse. So that's a 4/4 that can quick kill knights. So yeah, that's pretty nasty, and they can multi-move. And problem is just he needs to stay away from Bo. Bo could just ruin his day. But he can actually jump on the bow from outside of bow striking range because he moves 4. So that's kind of nice. All right, let's use some straight white. Just some good old straight white. So I know I talked about this a couple of them on one of the videos earlier in the week, or maybe even over the weekend. I considered making my own flags and seeing if there's a market, if any people are interested in that. I don't know. I need to get a laser printer and see if there's an interest in that. I don't think I want to sit down and and just make flags and not do any painting. But if I'm painting my next army and I have to do a set of flags, put a set of flags together for them. Now I got to get the scaling right. So because I'm not going to build them for 28s. There's probably a lot of people that want to do them for 28s, but my only concern with doing it is it just be a pain in the ass of going to the mail and mail them out. I guess I could just do it once a week, but invariably it'll end up being one of those things like because I'd go to the mail on a Saturday. I'm not gonna go on my lunch break. That time's holy. I don't get enough time to decompress. But I wonder if there's a market for something like that. So I downloaded some flags and modified them with a paint program, and they turned out really nice. And that was my first attempt. And I was like, okay, well, I like flags anyways. And I didn't like buying pre-painted flags. There's nothing wrong with these, okay? There's nothing wrong. I mean, they're absolutely gorgeous, but I didn't paint them myself. Um, and so the idea that I could make flags and I didn't paint them, but I did, is kind of cool, because I still did the artwork on them. How about a Keimer flag? Oh boy. You know what one looks like? There's um there's an army that I've entertained building. Um, Mitch would disown me if I built this army, and he didn't have it first, and that's the Vietnamese army, the medieval Vietnamese. I think I can make that army. I know what troop mix to make them. Nobody makes figures for them, but I can get them to a level where they're close. But I looked up their flag. Their flag is stupid as shit. I mean, it's like literally like it's like a square flag and has like red and blue and yellow, and it's just like, okay, that's for as much as I like the Asian armies, all of the Asian army flags look really stupid, except the samurai. Okay, so samurais have some cool flags, but any of the Chinese dynasties, they just have like, and I love the Chinese armies. They're super cool. They have super cool equipment. They have not cool troop compositions. I'm interested in their history. And you go and you look up the information on their flag, and it ends up being like a Chinese character on it, on like a colored background, and that's it. Every single damn one of them, except my Tang that look like they're rolling with an olive with the pimento inside, which is kind of cool, But the rest of them, there's just a character, and it's like, well, that sucks. I mean, you don't. I mean, really, they don't have any dragons, right? Nope. No, they don't have anything. I mean, I guess you could make one, and it would just be, wrong, based on what is known. But that's a shame. That's why my Nan Chow don't have a flag. Well, there was no flag bearer, and there's no information on what one of their flags would be. Hell, they may not even had one, but I know the Chinese definitely had a lot of flags from the standpoint of they would have different divisions that would be in different flag colors, like red, blue, white, and black. They definitely had those. Like it's like the east or the west or the south or the north, and they would deploy in different areas, and they use the flags to confuse the enemy and also to where their different divisions were and stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure those flags were just a solid color. Well, that's not very provoking, but a Keimer flag, yeah. No, I don't know where there's a Keimer, what a Keimer flag is. You could make one up, I guess, but I don't want to sit down and do flags for an army I'm not doing because I get sidetracked. Not that it's not any fun to do, but it takes time. That one flag I did modify, it took me probably a couple hours of work, maybe three. You know, I didn't just throw it together. I mean, it looks good. So, but I'm not really interested in doing flags that everybody already makes. Like, there's no point in me doing 100 Years War flags. Okay, everybody makes them. Okay, everybody makes that kind of stuff. So, but if you had like an army, like what, like maybe Eastern Franks, Nobody makes a flag for the Eastern Franks. Maybe I'll make a flag for the Eastern Franks. You interested in one of those, Joe? Eastern Franks, also known as the pre-Germans, the Ottonians. Yeah, there's no point in doing stuff that people already make. It's kind of like, if I'm going to make a figure, if I'm going to start a War Games figure company, there's no point in making Romans of any kind. Everybody already makes them. Well, you can get people to buy your Romans. Yeah, that's not how I envision things. There's no reason to compete with other people if you don't need to. So, like, there's a whole bunch of armies nobody makes figures for. You should focus on that. That's kind of like what Coruscant did. They started off making weird stuff that nobody else made. And now they've got several things that other people make as well, but that's how they started off. They started off doing those Coruscantian armies. Nobody made figures for the Coruscantians. So that's why, as much as I want to buy those forged in battle figures to try them out, they make stuff that everybody already makes, even though their stuff looks beautiful. I mean, I'm not knocking it at all. It's like okay that everybody already makes that stuff, except maybe the Slavs. You know, I mean, I guess Essex makes Slavs, but their Slavs look pretty cool. So send me some links on a Keimer flag if you find one, Joe. Maybe I'll put something together. But yeah, that's why my Nan Chow don't have one. Okay, I think we're done enough with this horse that I'm comfortable with moving on to something else. Now, does this guy have armor? He does. All right, let's go ahead and get that dry brushing out of the way before I end up covering something else with it. Okay, so we're gonna grab our color that we ended up that sounds weird. Let's see how watery this stuff is. Not too bad. Now, let's see here. I have a bunch of Norman figures, that I need to see what I can do with them. That's not who's next. But, I could probably do an early German army with them. From the standpoint, the guys that come after the guys you got, Joe. The guys that come after the Ottonians, the Eastern Franks. I could do them. I could do feudal French with them. I could do Anglo-Norman with them. But as they went in time period, the chainmail shirt that they had kept getting longer and longer. So when you get in the Norman period, it goes basically a little bit past the waist. And when you start getting closer to like 1100, they still have a very similar type helmet that the Normans do, but their their shirt, the chainmail shirt goes almost like knee length. So I mean, I guess I could just throw that to the wind and not do it, but I already know that's the case. So why purposefully do something wrong? Let's do the same thing we did with this other guy. We're going to go ahead and just dry brush his helmet and then go in there and pick things out later. All right. Now we said we were going to give this guy hose. Pantyhose? No. No, he's not that kind of Irishman. All right. This is one of those paint what you know type things, right? I don't know what color I'm going to do the hose, so I'm going to do his shoes. Okay. Let's go and do. Man, it's a slow night tonight. Everybody's at ladies' night. TGI Friday tomorrow. Well, in about 22 hours it is. 22? Yeah, let's round up just to be safe. 22 hours it'll be TGIF. Not the beginning of the day. Fridays are a challenge. I always said the guy who came up with TGIF was some bastard that only worked 410s. I'm more of a TGIS. I heard a rumor we're actually going to get some cooler weather over the weekend. We'll see. That doesn't mean a whole lot. Cooler weather for us here could be, 85. All right, there's his shoes. And over here, somebody had said paint them up like Crocs. That's hilarious. All right, we made this other assistant bare-legged. We're not going to make this guy bare-legged. All right, so he's got like a cloak that covers all over him. All right, we said we were going to make that pink. Let's see. The only thing against doing it pink is it'd be close to this flesh color, and you just get lost in it. I don't think that's pink enough. Let's see. Don't we have like a salmon type color here? Salmon. Salmonella. What's this? Old Rose. Oh, I like that. Okay. Old Rose. True Irish chieftain. He got so much drunk he decided to wear his girlfriend's shawl in the battle. We're going to paint his face first so that we can see how that fits in there. Ideally I would say like just make it green, right? But no, green's kind of lacking in this army. We'll make this banner. We'll make this pretty green banner for this army that rides on the same stand. So, this. Whoa, hello. This will look significantly different on there. So, pink. I've used pink on not a whole lot. I mean, it's expensive. I used it on my. I've used some on my Rajputs, and I've used it on my Ottomans. So. I don't know that I've used this color at all. I did open it one time to paint the end. Okay, so let's go ahead and paint his flesh. Let's get the flesh mix here. The infamous trait. That's not it. I'm not getting a whole lot of light back here, so it's hard to figure out what color is which. Looking at it from over here. Is it this one? Nope. This one, looking for red leather. Nope. Is it? It's here. Yep. Red leather. And sunny skin tone. Which is here. Hey, you guys are a bunch of lurkers, man. Lurky lurk. Lurky Lurkelstein. That's my version of Bodie McBoatface. Okay, let's get good old red leather out. Made a mess with that one. Wonder why. All right. Let's give this guy a facial. It's very, very, and I already said this guy was going to be redheaded because, you know, come on, he's an Irish chieftain. If anybody's going to be redheaded in this army, it's going to be him. If anybody's going to be a redhead, it's going to be him. Hi, Tony, just watching during lunch break. Where the hell are you? You must be in Australia or New Zealand or... Lunch break. No fair, you're on lunch break on a Friday. Damn it. Oh, well, your weekend's going to end sooner than mine. Yeah, that's what I do during lunch break. I watch YouTube as well. I do. Yeah, if it's lunchtime tomorrow where you're at, then unless you're in Hawaii. But it's still tomorrow in Hawaii. New Zealand. Excellent. It's tomorrow. What's tomorrow look like? Does the end of the world happen tomorrow? Oh, man. Let's see here. I mentioned earlier, I was filming yesterday for about 2.5 hours, and all of a sudden, I got kicked off of YouTube. I mean, my phone didn't turn off or anything. My phone's plugged in. It's at 100% right now. I got full bars in 4G LTE. I I don't know. I don't know what happened. I heard somebody was telling me it was just because of the internet is just being used by everyone for everything. That it's just overused at this point. So even I'm using it more than I used to. So not sure what happened, but and then I couldn't find the video. I thought I hadn't uploaded. I'm like, well, I guess the people that saw it live are lucky because it's not going to be able to go up. But a little while later, it showed up. Okay. Well, it was pretty awkward painting with my water container over on the left-hand side, but I think I've almost gotten used to it now. Almost. Okay. Is this the one I was using over the weekend? It was kick-ass? I think it was. Starting to not kick ass so much. All right, let's bring it up more. Let's take this this here. So I got to find this reference. If I'm going to be working on the camp over the weekend, I've got to find my sheep. I keep saying that, but they're somewhere. I didn't give them away. I got a pack of sheep. I don't remember who they're from, but they're smaller than this dog. I know that. And get some shepherd character on there with some sheep on there. But I got to find that because before I move on to the next army, I've got to have a camp done for these guys. Good news, when I move on to the next army, I should be able to just hit the ground running. None of this, well, I got to wait for figures to come in nonsense. They're all set, so. See if I can find another brush. It's got a better point on it than this one. Okay. Nope. That's not the one. Well, I got plenty to choose from here. This one should be fine. Let's fill out of here. Oh, these little plastic tips, these things are useless. I don't even know why they bother with those. Probably for packing. We should be fine. Okay. That's what it is. Fans on set to 2. In the mornings, it's kind of cool in here. There we go. I don't paint in a hot environment. No, no, no. Okay. So, let's see, let's take a look at this and see if we want to add white to it before. Yeah, let's add a little bit of white to it now. That's better. Okay. Oh, that's right. I was thinking about doing a little bit of plaid on him. Sorry, tartan. On his cape or something like that, but I don't think pink goes with that. So, hey, the pink thing may actually suck, and I'll end up repainting it. But I'm at least going to give it a shot and see what that looks like. All right, now he's got hair there. He's got hair there. Right. All right, let's get our redhead combination, our ginger mix, and that is this color here, which is, well, it's called light brown, but it's pretty darn red. So, what's this nonsense? Somebody commented on my post. Well, we'll have to check on that later. Okay. So we're just going to mix this color with black. Okay, and what we can see on him is a beard or a goatee. I haven't decided which one of the two it is. And his hair back here. Let's get that painted. And then since I'm kind of skeptical on the pink, I'm going to paint a couple of other things. I'm going to paint his javelin and stuff first so that I could get the full effect of how that pink is going to work. So I'm giving up on that brush. It's splitting up. It's splitting. All right, let's do more of this. Okay, now we're just going to go ahead and use this color straight. See if there's some thicker part of this. This is pretty thin. This tells you it's kind of orangish, even though it's called yellow brown, because the paint's super watery. If it was actually more brown, it wouldn't be this watery. As soon as it has those properties of orange or some yellow in it, they just starts misbehaving. And speaking of yellow, we're going to go ahead and grab. Let's go ahead and grab this one here. Man, I gotta pee again. Jeez. Well, I can hold it, but why be uncomfortable? I'll be right back, folks. I don't want to be. I don't want to be uncomfortable. Okay. As we were. Man, you guys are quiet tonight. You guys must be busy working on stuff, or I'd put you to sleep. Woohoo! Exciting. Okay. On to being a redhead. How to be a redhead, 101. Okay. Now we should be able to do these two together. Use the yellow for the highlighting. What is that? Fuzz strand. All right. Fuzz be gone. It's okay that he gets a little blonde. And some highlights here. Okay, that's good. Okay. That's pretty much done on there. Now I think it's time to do the cape. There's no way around it. We got to do this pink cape. Let's do his scabbard. See, I did get out of it doing it. Let's do this one. What color is the scabbard on that one? Oh, good. That's a leather color, so we don't have to do the same type of thing here. Skylab, hello. Have I tried Hordes of the Things also, or perhaps no interest in fantasy? So, yeah, I'm not a fantasy person. The biggest problem with Hordes of the Things is the rules don't have a common, the mechanics aren't the same. And even when we played 2.2, Hordes of Things was already out. It was the mechanics aren't the same. I'm fine with the factors being different, but the mechanics aren't the same. I've played 2 or 3 games of Hordes of the Things that like if somebody did it as a convention, they put it on. One of them was like a game where we were like over a fake Tokyo or something like that. So it was kind of like a Godzilla kind of destroy the thing, destroy the city type thing. Yeah, it's like the conforming and stuff like that isn't the same. So I have the rules. I've just never done anything with it. But I'm not really interested in fantasy. I mean, the thing is that I get excited about stuff. And why did I pick this brush out? I think we agreed we weren't going to use this one. You son of a biscuit. I don't get excited about, reading fantasy stuff. So, yeah, it's not really my thing. So, I'll tell you what, though. I did a little while ago. I do fantasy stuff. Like, I'll play like computer games that are fantasy, like Diablo and stuff. Big fan of that stuff. But to actually go and there's no figures out there that I absolutely love how they look, with the exception of what were those ones that they came out with? I want to say they're called War Master, but that's not correct. They're 15 millimeter figures that came out maybe 15 years ago or something like that. They're very similar to Games Workshop style, Citadel style, and Demon World. Okay, the Demon World figures, I believe that's what they were called. Those look really cool, but they don't make all kinds of different factions and stuff. But you know, I would have played it other than the mechanics, and that's really the part that's hard to grasp with with DBA is the weird clunky mechanics. So the clunky mechanics aren't the same in the other rule set. So, but I do have the rules. But painting Fakak troops. Oh man, it sounds like what's wrong with that guy? He had to go take a Fakak. Uh, I don't know what that is. There's lots of people that make them now. They didn't used to be. They didn't used to be that very many. Because the Demon Worlds, I understand they're back and in production. Who else? There's one company that makes a ton of different stuff. Splintered Light. I don't like the style of the Splintered Light figures. They're very lanky. They'd still be better if I sculpted my own. They're still better than if I sculpted my own figures, but I don't like the style that they're done in. But I do like the Demon World ones. The appeal to it would be to create, a whole different civilization or imaginations, so to speak. But to really read about it, nah, that doesn't really interest me. I didn't grow up on that stuff, so. So what's Fakak? Have I played DBA and other skills other than 15 millimeter? Yes, I've played in 28. I don't like it. I'll play it. I don't like it. But honestly, if there was a more variety in 6 millimeter figures, I would love to play it in 6 millimeter with the same size bases that it's used in 15. So in other words, still keep your heavy infantry on this size stand on 40 by 15, but you could put, 16 guys on here or 12 guys on here or something. That'd be cool. But there's not a big variety of figures. Not enough for me, you know, because you're paying some 15 millimeter Essex Centaurs for hordes of the things, and they're very large sculpts. They're not the size of like museum camels, are they? Those things are freaking huge, and you can't get them on a 40 by 30 stand. The Camel Troops by Museum Miniatures. Museum stuff's all over the place. Some of their stuff's really is small. Some of it is super big. There's too many historical stuff that I want to do to do hordes of the things. Some people will paint them with those pre-painted. What were those? Those Mage Knight figures or whatever. They would use them with that, but yeah, I have played DBA in 28, but it doesn't grab me. I'm not. I wasn't a 15 millimeter painter until I started doing this stuff, and then it's the variety of. And even with all the variety, there's still some figures they don't make. It's still lacking. I don't know, folks, about this pink. First DBA armies you painted were 6 millimeter Heroics and Ross. It's funny because everybody here, when I grew up, before I ever saw them, they always called them Ross and Heroics. Ross and Heroics, Ross and Heroics, but it's actually Heroics and Ross. 15 Punic Wars armies. I used 15 millimeter bases, packed them with troops. Looks very cool. The guys with those funky looking axes. Oh, fuck. Really? Hold on a second. Oh, that's what doesn't make sense. You have sometimes people have different color icons. Like Julian's icon is different than Skylab's, but Joe's is the same as Skylab's. So when Joe said painting Figure troops, I thought it was what Skylab was doing, and he was painting something that was fantasy. My bad. Yeah, Figure. Those those crazy axemen. Absolutely. You do 6 millimeter DBA on 60-inch base and 60 bases. Wow, 60 millimeter bases. That's freaking huge. You could do like a whole legion on that. You could do like a whole Roman legion looking. Okay, so we've got that. I don't know about this pink, guys. F it. What's the worst thing that could happen? I repaint it, right? It's something different. And if this guy takes people out in the game, it's going to be really fun mocking him. Now, I could say I could use him with a pink dye too, but we have a special Irish dye for these guys. We have a special particular. And no, it does not have, it's not the one that has the 4-leaf clover. I'm shaking this pink up, so I'll go ahead and show you guys which one it is. I picked these up, and they used to make more nations than this. They're hard to find. And I don't remember how I came across, I think I came across it on eBay. Here you go. It has a little Irish silhouette on the what? On the one, so you don't want to see that. I gotta figure out what's Irish for the F-bomb, so I can drop that when I can say that when I roll a 1. So you don't want to see that Ireland. And then for some reason, if you didn't know what this was, it's got actually Ireland written on the 2. So yeah, this is the Irish dice. I got one of them. This is the first one I got. Was this one? Was the French one? It's on the 1. So when I roll a 1 with this die, I always say, "Oh, F by France." What else do I got? I got a German one. Where's the German one? Of course, it just has West Germany on it. Must be in my other bag. It's black and white. And I've got the Great Britain one. which I use this for my fetal English, I guess, whenever I do my fetal English. But yeah, I like using a die that goes with who the hell these guys are. So I've used the French one a lot, actually. I use the French one a lot. So I do like solid colored dice. I don't like the marbled dice. I don't know, especially if stuff's written on them. It's hard to figure out what it is. So here's one of these my buddy Scott gave me. Tony's Casino. Las Vegas. Never been to Vegas. Don't have a huge interest in going. I'm not a gambler. Anyhow, that's yeah. That's the dice side thing. So, and this is the size dice I like. I'm not sure what millimeter that is. That's the size. I don't like these bigger ones. Like I got this Hebrew one. Waiting for one of them. I got a Hebrew one. I got a Korean one. And you guys have seen the Arab one on there as well. This is a larger size. They just seem really heavy. I guess I could roll two. I could pull a Joe and roll two of them. Oh, I got this guy. Got skulls on there. What else? Yeah. The country dice are called country dice and are made by Coplow, and they don't make them anymore. Let's see if I can find it here. The British one. So they make a Belgium one, or they made one. They're out of production. They made one for Belgium. They made one for Spain. Really want that one, but I just have to settle for using the one with the Spanish descriptive numbers on them. I want to say they made a Portuguese one too, and I think that's it. Oh, they make an Italian one. I think they make an Italian one. Anyhow, just something else. I like using the pink die because for the longest time I said it'd be really cool to whip up on somebody or using a pink die, but now I've used it so much it's kind of lost its appeal. You know, it's not that big of a deal. So, all right, Old Rose, huh? I think it's the first time I've used this color. Obviously, I mean, look what color it is. All right, let's see what we got here. All right. Let's do a couple of tests, okay? We're going to do a mix-in. Obviously, black could be a mix-in. Let's look at some dark brown. Not that one. Let's get good old chocolate brown out here. And see what kind of shading we can get before we decide which one of these to do. All right, so let me get some chocolate brown on here. Okay, don't need a whole lot. And let's test this before we commit. All right, and we don't need to use a brush that's tiny for this. We can use this guy right there. All right. So let's take this pink here, here, and here. All right. And let's take a little bit of brown. Okay, perfect. Let's do the same thing with this color. Okay. Almost looks like one of those popsicles that are some kind of strawberry cream popsicle. And then we'll use black for this one. I like the brown one. I like the brown one the best. Okay, cool. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. Yeah, because this horse already has like a gray undertone to it going on because it's white and I mixed it with black. So this will allow me to go into the brown direction more and make it different. That's about, go a little darker than that. All right, we got this color here. We're going to paint the entire cape in this color. Let me do one thing. I'll be right back. Let me turn the lights on. Okay. I know they're going to get here at some point. I'm over here in the painting cave. All right, back to where we were. Let's go over to this side. And it looks like his cloak is kind of open here. So that's what we'll plan for. It's for it to be open. I wouldn't have minded to do a piebald horse on here, but I think with a pink cape and a piebald horse would be a little bit too, a little too Liberace. So, I don't think I want Liberace leading my. I don't want him to be an Irish chieftain. You know what I'm saying? So. See if I can get away with doing. We'll see how this looks, and if it looks okay, maybe I'll make his leggings green. I mean, not bright green like a leprechaun, but you know, a little bit of a green tint to it. Maybe we'll do that. We'll see. Okay, so that's probably good enough for that. Let's go ahead and add some more rose to it. Flamboyant. fakak. You gotta go take a fakak. Yeah, you're gonna probably leave the elephant till the last, I would imagine. That's what I'd probably do. Well, so far it's not very pink. Hey Chris, how you doing? How about a what? A two-tone brown plaid cape for the chieftain. Well, that sounds good, except that I saw an illustration where this chieftain actually had a pink cape, so that's what we're gonna go with. Um, that's what we're gonna go with, and if see if it doesn't look. My initial reaction would have been to do some kind of a cape that had some light plaid on it, or tartan or whatever the hell it is. We know what we're talking about. We say plaid, but we know we mean tartan. Just like some people call a buffalo a bison. We know what we're talking about here. But they that would be my initial reaction: is give him a green cape because there's not much green in the army, and give him that, and then do some subtle plaiting to it. But I saw this illustration of this guy on a white horse and with a pink cape, and let's just see how that turns out. And my initial reaction would have been to do the green plaid cape and on a piebald horse, a black and white piebald horse. But I'm afraid he's just going to look too much like a Holstein. So. Um, The horse in the illustration was also a white horse, so we'll see. We'll see if this guy looks the part. If not, we can always punt. Okay, well, so far it's not out of control yet. Let's go to a smaller brush, and let's lighten this up. Okay. I think I turned the lights on a little premature. They're still maybe an hour away from getting here. Let's see. And then we'll try a couple different lighteners. We'll try white. We'll do the same little test. And then we'll do like a light yellow and see what adding a light yellow to this would do. The white might just bleach this out too much. That's something I probably wouldn't be doing if I wasn't filming this. It's kind of fun to see what we'll come up with color-wise. And Now, I don't know this will work. I just figured I'd give this an Old English try. If I don't like it, I'm covering this so thinly in paint that it won't be an issue. And it'll definitely be easy to see which one of these two guys is the fancier guy. So let's do something that worked well for me over the weekend, and that is, let me see if I can find it. All of a sudden, this is all upside down, which is really weird because I don't really have a messy area. Just everything's on top of me. Where is my Vallejo airbrush thinner? Okay, let's put some drops in the top bottle of this. All right, 5 drops of that. And what we're gonna do is instead of me dipping it into the water, I will dip it into there. And it seemed like when I was doing the really fine detail painting over the weekend, it wasn't gumming up as much. Not really gumming up, but it was flowing better. Yeah. Because what happens with some of these brushes is that the paint is drying, so you'll get like one of the bristles that gets thicker because it keeps paint on it, like only one. So it's like all out of whack. And it seemed to work a lot better with this. Actually, what I used was the flow extender, but this is actually working even better. All right, let's do our little test here. Have we gone up to pure rose yet? Let's see. No. Whoa, too much. There we go. All right, now let's talk about those 2 colors we said we were going to bring in here. Let's grab a light yellow. Let's rescue this. This is in the wrong place. There we go. The Vallejo bottle turned sideways. All right. Nope, that's the deep yellow. That's not the one I was thinking of. This one here. Golden yellow. That's not very golden. Misnomer. Oh, this one. This is what I wanted to do. This is the ice yellow. Yeah, we'll try this one, and then we'll try this. We'll try white. Oh, this beautiful color. This was so crusty when I ended up getting it. It's been sitting on somebody's shelf for so long. That'll work. That's even missing the. This is a color. If I used it more, I'd just replace it. And then of course white. All right, so let's do our little test here. Let's do pink. Put some here, and let's put some more here. And let's mix some of this color in here with it. See what happens. Okay, and then let's do the white on the other side and see what happens there. Well, one's warmer, the other one's chalkier, so I think I'm actually going to do the yellow. And we're just going to bring it up just a little bit with a little bit of white. Okay. It looks all right. He's going to be on the same stand as him with the dog. And he's going to carry this green banner right here. The St. Patrick looking banner. I think it should be fine. I think it should be fine. So let's all right. Let's give him a javelin. Let's do it a lighter color. So let's do something like not Iraqi sand, something that has a little bit more yellow in it. Say like this dark sand. We'll do that one. And we'll mix it with that chocolate brown. When was the last time you got seriously threatened by a hurricane other than tremendous rain? Well, this place, this wonderful place I live in, has zero breeze most of the time. There's a reason why it's called the swamp. We fortunately don't have hurricane issues other than maybe losing power. Seriously threatened 2004 when those two crisscrossed Florida, but I think we lost power for like a day with one of them. Even the biggest hurricane is going to drop into like 70 mile an hour by the time it gets to us. The problem is the gusts, and the problem is the trees. This is a tree-ridden place, which is fine, but you know, there's a lot of houses they're in amongst the trees, and that's where the problem happens. So, but not really anything. And hurricanes aren't that big a deal because you just freaking leave. I think the last time I had one, I packed all my figures, and when was the one? It was like 4 years ago. We cleaned out the garage, put both cars in the garage, and we were going to ride it out because it didn't look like which way it was going to go, but ended up not being anything. It's just the worst thing about a hurricane is how people act around it. It's the humans that, we got to buy everything. We got to do, we got to like act like an idiot and not obey traffic signals and drive around like the world's ending. that kind of stuff. So, and but I've never had to leave. I've never had to leave town because of a hurricane. So that is the best thing about here is we're in an area where it doesn't. When I lived in Florida, I remember you guys had more tornado threats than hurricane threats. We don't. We don't really. Hey, little D, what's up? Building out my hinds. Cool. I guess that's a game that actually has helicopters in it, and they're useful. I assume you're going to put stands on them. Yeah. I guess we have tornado threats. We when was it? Maybe 4 years ago, 5 years ago, we had one that didn't hit, but it was kind of coming by. We were getting gusts, and we heard a tornado type sound that was weird. That was really creepy. I've had nightmares about tornadoes, but fortunately, I've never been in one. I don't want to be. Well, we have a lot here. A lot is lightning strikes. That's and I detest lightning because that's just creepy as shit. That's what we have a lot here in this part of Florida. Florida is the lightning capital of the world. Yay, lucky us, huh? But but no, it's not really an issue. Fortunately. But people are always scared of stuff they don't have. People that don't live in Florida think that they're worried about alligators and hurricanes. Well, one you can see coming, and they always seem to be going for the Panhandle or Alabama or Louisiana or Texas or South Carolina. They just seem to. That's kind of the current trend. Alligators, you'll never see one. I mean, unless you're going to go find one in a lake, and there's not any lakes near. I mean, they could be anywhere, but they don't want to have anything to do with that. So, just like if I wouldn't want to live in California, I couldn't deal with earthquakes. I'm not going to lose all this stuff falling to the ground and break. No, no thanks. So, I think most people prefer what they're used to. Um, yeah, not doing the earthquake thing. Sorry. We actually had a spring. I think the last 4 or 5 years we'd start doing a spring break trip as well, going with the daughter. She's got spring break during school, and we figured, well, let's just vacation twice a year. And we went to Utah one year, Colorado, and we were going to go to these friends that we have that live in central Mexico. And this was like 2 years ago when the big earthquake hit there, and they're saying, don't go, it's really bad. So when the locals say the conditions are really bad, it's probably not a good sign. So, when the locals are scared that have been through it all, so we're like, yeah, it's probably a good idea we didn't go. So I think that was the year that we went to Colorado instead. So I got to drive in ice instead for the first time. So that was fun. Wasn't that big a deal. It was in an area where there wasn't a whole lot of traffic, but rather me drive in ice than be the passenger. Hell no. I don't want to be the passenger between somebody who's experienced driving in ice. Nope. I'll take it. I'll take my chances myself. Nope. Yes, I am a control freak when it comes to stuff like that. Hell, I'd fly the plane if they let me. Oh man. Let's see. When you lived in Florida, you lived where? Fort Myers, Sarasota, and one other place, Tampa. Um, Fort Myers and Sarasota, they get threatened quite a bit. Um, Tampa does too, but In 2004, one came through, like between Sarasota and Fort Myers, where it came through and went all the way up. That was the year. That was in 2004, and that was the year that was just before. One of them was just before our convention. That's called Huracan, our September convention in Tampa. It was at Tampa at the time. In 2007, they moved back. They moved to Orlando, but the Huracan convention was both conventions were in Tampa. But the Huracan convention was the September one, and it actually was they. That was the first time I ever played DBA. Was in September 2004, and they had on Sunday the hurricane was getting close. So I think I had to leave for early Sunday morning or something like that. I didn't get involved in it or anything, but yeah, Huracan, and that was the first time I played DBA. So coincidence? I don't know. I guess one year I need to move and live in an icy shithole for a while so I could appreciate the weather here. But it's the appreciate the summer that goes along with the winter. The winter here is wonderful. The winter in other places is also wonderful because I don't live there, so I don't have to shovel the crap or go to work in it. I mean, if I ever show up somewhere that it snows, I'm on vacation, so I don't have to do anything. And if I get snowed in or whatever, well, then who cares? Because I don't have anywhere to be that I have to be. But I don't want to live in that crap. Yeah, our winters, you get automatically. It's rained every day here for like the past 2 months with lightning storms and everything. And, so it sucks right now. But when the time comes, like in January, February, it's not a cloud in the sky, and beautiful weather. I want that 366 days of the year. Yes, I want the leap year. I want the leap year day too. I want the leap year day too. Honestly, it's the hot nights that are the bigger problem. During the day, you're outside, you expect it to be hot. You want it to be hot if you're doing any kind of water stuff. I mean, I don't want to go to the beach and be cold. I don't get in water if I'm cold. Those springs that we have near here, it's like what, 60, 70, 68 or 72 degrees year round. That's frigid. No, no, I don't get in that stuff. That's nonsense. Um, okay, so now it's time for horse strap. No, it's not. It's time to put his leggings on. We're going to make him green, but we're not going to make him Kermit green. Let's see. Please ship the rain out west here. We're tired of the fires. Yeah, well, if it was up to me, it'd be about 40 degrees year round. So, sorry, I'm not in charge of the weather. If I was in charge of the weather, I wouldn't be painting. All right, let's do some green leggings on him, but we don't want to do something like this. Okay, we're not looking for that. He's not frickin' St. Patrick himself. Maybe something like the lighting in here is just horrible. You look at this. Okay, I see the color I see in the camera. Okay, to the naked eye, though, this looks like, if you guys are World War II fans, you know what the Western Approaches scheme is on British destroyers? That's what this looks like. I mean, hell, it's even called Green Sky. And here it looks like freaking Kermit the Frog. This is why the photos that I'm taking of of my figures don't look good on the camera, because that's what I'm getting. It's really altering the color completely. I can't do that. He's gonna look like Captain Pastel. I'm here for the battle. That one we could do. That one we could do. Out west. Where are you again? Skylab. You're in Nebraska? You're in... God, I don't remember where you're at. Kansas, maybe? I don't think I've ever met somebody from the Dakotas. I don't think anybody really lives there. You know, we joked that the Florida Panhandle, that's the part of Florida Alabama I didn't want. It's like, you guys want this? Oh, that's right. You're the Salt Lake City guy. Cool. There's fires in Utah? Man. Like Utah. I don't want to go to Utah in the summer. I want to go to Utah in the winter. It's beautiful. Well, I don't want to live there, though. Clean up that mess. Oh, we've got a bunch of snow in the driveway. Nope. No, thank you. Park City, Utah. We'll go back there. We went during spring break the year, and it had been it was very warm. It was actually when we flew out of Gainesville, it was warmer here. It was late February, early March, mid-March, something like that. It was colder here than it was in Salt Lake City. It was colder here than it was in Park City. It was like annoying as hell because I figured, I say, if I was ever a superhero, if I was going to turn into a superhero, my name would end up being Meltdown. It seems like everywhere I go, it gets warmer. I try to go somewhere cold, it gets warmer. So 3 fires last week in my county alone. Oh, that's right. You were telling me that there were fires on your mountain behind you. Yeah. Ooh, that's creepy. Yeah, you told me about that, and then I mentioned that there was some guy 5 doors down that the half of his house caught on fire because he sold hot solar powered hot water heaters, and I'm pretty sure he wired his own house for that. Electricity is just creepy. I don't mess with that stuff. Let the pros do that. I'm a painter, not an electrician. Okay. He's got some greenish type stockings. Okay. Let's make sure I don't have. Okay, perfect. Huh. Video must have reset at some point. It says only 28 minutes on. I think the internet's just running weird. Everybody's on it all the time. Exhibit A. Oh, I swindled myself. There we go. This is another one that broke. Look, you got to see 2 bottles of the nipple broke off of them. There's a couple of Vallejo paints that I got that I think were just really old when I got them. And they've just kind of, that's one of them. Anything that's plastic got old. I don't know exactly how it is, but it seemed like it broke down and lost its elasticity and then, cracked and broke that way kind of thing. So. Where's this stuff right here? Okay, and let's not use yellow. Let's use white for this. Lighten this up with white. We have a light colored horse, so we can use dark colored trappings. We're going to use, I'm tired of using this color that doesn't cover with a dam. So let's get some of my favorite colors out here. And use a dark color by my favorite paint manufacturer, which is Coat d'Arms. And Coat d'Arms color we're going to use is this color called Field Drab. I may look at this guy in the morning and say, I don't like this pink cloak that he's got, and repaint him. But we're going to roll with it for now. We're going to roll with it for now. Looking a little too edgy right now. We'll see. We will see. Yeah, that's the good stuff right there. This covers like nobody's business. And of course, we're going to do the mane on the horse last, because I don't want to paint it. And then in turning around one way and the other like I'm doing now, I'll end up scuffing it up. You have to repaint it anyways. You can have better use of your time than repainting stuff you've already painted. I remember you said you weren't really happy with Big Battle DBA. What about 6-player campaigns as they used to have in the earlier DBA rules? Haven't played any. Um, I don't mind cooperating with other people. I just don't like yeah, I'm fine with campaigns. I just don't like the 3 commands and making other commands from it because it involves a lot of planning. The game takes longer. And then you have a bunch of pip rolls that suck and all that, and you get screwed. And all that planning you did went out the window. It just reminds me of the stuff I have to do at work that I get paid for, and I still don't like it. It's not the teamwork aspect. I like that part. Making this wheels up eliminates 7 pieces. You betcha I'm doing that. Okay. You got stands and stuff to put them on, right? You got like those, the stands that they use for like antennas or stuff. That's Wardrobe, who's working on, he's got his own YouTube channel. He's working on not Flames of War. Well, it is Flames of War, but it's Team Yankee. So I know you play board games too, Wardrobe. Um, there's a board game that's on a computer. See, I don't like counter board games because I don't want to spend the time to set it up. So I don't mind playing counter games on the computer, like what's the one? Lock and Load Tactical, that kind of stuff. But they have one that's called, it's for modern, that looks really good. I mean, it looks, the counters and everything look really, really good. I've been tempted to get it. It's called something like Dragon Rising or something like that. I forget what it is. I want to say it's put together by Slytherin or whatever, but it looks really good. Um, but I forget what it is. You know, it's Team Yankee. It's World War III and that kind of stuff. Oh, hello. Hey, you going to bed? All right, I'll be back, folks, in a few minutes. We got the rest of the clan that arrived. Okay, I'm back. I just need to get some liquids. And we can finish up this strappy dude. All right. Once again into the breach. You've run 2 DBA campaigns. They add meaning to the games I'd rather play than Empire. Yeah, so the campaign games that we end up doing back on the shows, when we had conventions, you remember those good old days? Don Harding would run his own campaign game, and he has his own scoring rules and stuff. So sometimes you would have a teammate that would be as an ally, it'd be a whole army or just a contingent, or sometimes it would be multiple armies on a side. So that I liked. One thing that I really liked what he did is he would have your whole army on a clipboard, and you got to pick your 12 elements out of the troops that were there. So if you had optional troop types, you could pick whichever 12 you wanted to. I mean, I think you couldn't change what the general was, but and then if you had to replace them after the battle, you'd have to buy them. It would cost you points to do it. So that worked pretty well. And then, yeah, there was a purpose to the battles, and sometimes they were uneven. So there was a couple of battles where it was 2 people against 1, and those are great when you're facing that and you win. You're outnumbered 2-1, literally 24 elements to 12. So, or 24 elements to. Sometimes it would be 1 army in a contingent versus 2 whole armies. So, yeah, they were fun. We usually do those on Sunday. My only gripe about them is we run out of time in a 4-hour session. It really needs to be more like a 6 hours. So. Afternoon, Tony. No, it's night. When are you going to get it right? Jeez. Hello, Greg. Hello, Greg. If you're still on here, Greg, I actually did something. I got a better printout of the flag. I'm going to actually redo the flags. The flag on my, let's put this out of the way. Oh, I'm getting sidetracked. Well, when I get sidetracked, I stay awake, so that's a good thing. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is, let me see if I can find that big flag that's around here, because we didn't use it for anything. I may just have to show you the one that's on the night right there. And again, I don't know if this is going to come out worth a damn. This is the flag that's on him now. And this is how they came out. Let me fold this over because it's just the generic ones here. These are the ones that I modified by hand painting on them. There, that's the equivalent size one. There's a lot more color depth here than there is in here. So probably over the weekend, I'll replace this flag with one of these. So yeah, let's just say I'm really happy how that turned out. So not that this is bad at all, but that's much better. So thanks for that original shield design, that original banner design. So we're we're going to be doing a lot of that on the next army that we're building. I've almost 95% sure I know who it's going to be, and they're going to have banners, and there's no banners that can be bought for them. It's not an army that has people out there buying maybe somebody sells them, but they're kind of, but there's lots of information on what their banners look like, and they're colorful. So I'm almost 95% sure who it's going to be, and I'm really excited about doing the flags for them, so much that I want to finish this light horse element and then move on to the next army after I build the camp for the Irish. I may just do that. So yeah, it is much better, and it looks better in person. It's just amazing. I'm really hooked on this whole doing your own flag business. So yeah, yep. But now this guy is. And I think I am going to do I know you wanted me to do a live thing how I'm doing the flag. I think I will do it, but I'm not going to use one of these tattered edge flags. I'm going to use the St. Patrick's green one that's here with a cross. That's what I'm going to use for this guy. So that's square and a little bit more manageable. I've done flags before, and it was. I mean, look, the first one I did was super stressful. Look what the design of it is. It's got tails and everything. So yeah. So that's what we're doing. That's what'll go on the banner bearer here. That green St. Patrick's looking flag. So I figure that's the most Irish looking one. It's also the least Dark Ages looking one, and these guys are technically out of the Dark Ages. So I've got a Norse Irish army to do as well, and one of those other ones, that one that I was talking about with the tails, that could be the Norse Irish. So. With the right technology, anything's possible. Well, almost anything. Yeah, so anyhow. Yeah, excited about the next army because I don't think I have to paint. I don't think I have to buy anything. I've got it all. So that's a big plus. That doesn't mean I'm not going to buy anything. It just means that I don't need to. So I probably won't. I don't need anything for that. So okay, so let's bring this up one more, and by adding some white to it and brightening it up. Okay, a little bit of highlighting there, a little bit of highlighting here. All right, the cushion we're going to use on this guy, we're going to give this guy a dark red cushion. So we can add some color in there because he's looking kind of drab. So, and I don't think we're going to use red and then darken it to red. Let's just start with dark red. And it should be this color right here, if I can see right. Right. Burnt cadmium red. This is one of the new colors of Vallejo, and what I mean by that is, let's see if I can show you guys. It's not necessarily a color, but it's a new packaging. And I don't know what's in them, but they cover a lot better. Let me show you an example of both of these. This is like the original ones that I got, I don't know, I probably got this one around 2004. You know, it looks kind of the same. All right, but if you look to the side here, this has a health label on it. This one does not have a health label. And this is, I knew it's different. It's a different, it might be a slightly different consistency, but yeah, it's definitely this is one I think I probably picked up at Hobby Lobby. It's the only place locally that carries Vallejo. So I may look at replacing some of these ones that are like that are misbehaving. Like this is a good one too. Yeah, I could tell. I mean, it's got the health label. It just so happens they feel a little different. They're Oh, look at that. They actually look different. I don't know if you guys can see that. See how the neck on this one's thinner? This has got a fatter neck. Yeah, but these are just more watery. They don't cover as well. These new ones do. They cover better, so that's good. They're improving things. So why am I getting this color out? Stay on track, Tony. Let's stay on track. All right. It's hardly noticeable. Where this color is, but it is kind of noticeable there. And we'll do this guy's going to have some brass detailing on his helmet. Some bronze detailing on his helmet, sorry. Okay, and for the lightener, we're not going to use white because it's going to start turning it pink. And I don't want two pink things next to each other. So let's try a little bit of yellow over here. Geez, what happened there? There was the... Took the whole top film section. All right, good night, Joe. Thanks for hanging in there. Okay, now let's add a little bit more yellow, see what happens. With the tiny little bit of white. I said I wasn't going to do it. I'm doing it. That's okay. Okay. I said I wasn't going to do it. I'm doing it, damn it. Okay. All right. We need to do reins here. And it's almost 10:30. I'm going to call it a night. I've been, well, this says it's only been 58 minutes, but that's bullshit because it must have disconnected. I've certainly been on this for at least 2 hours, so we'll pick this guy up. I don't know if I'll be able to pick him up tomorrow morning, but certainly not being filmed. But it's definitely looking good for these guys. Let's put these guys up together and see what they look like. It's kind of hard to tell because they're on the stand and the base isn't painted or anything like that. But oh, Rick, there you are. You've been lurking the whole time. Yeah. So anyhow, this is. I don't know if I'm going to stick with the pink cloak like it did in that illustration, but it's at least it's something different. And if I change my mind, I can always change that up. But I think it'll be fine once you put. He's going to have a green banner on here, so there's going to be some green on it, and I think it'll be fine. It's not really the fact that it's pink. The fact is, I would have done some kind of a tartan type plaid, some striping on it, even if it's very subtle. But anyhow, that's what we're going to go with. So, all right, folks. Well, we'll catch you guys next time, and you can't wait to see that banner affixed. Yeah. Yeah. So speaking of banners, you saw the difference on the new printed banner, right? I'm going to redo the I'm going to redo the banner on the Knights because I reprinted them and they look much better now. This is, you still can't tell. I've got to take a picture of them outside for you really to see. It's I had it like this big on the computer, or you can go as big as you want and then go in there and do the shading just like this painting, but like on a drawing, and that was a lot of fun to do. So it still took a couple hours, but okay, folks. Well, we'll catch you guys next time. See ya.